Did you know that, according to the World Health Organization, around 9% of men worldwide experience infertility? Various factors can contribute to this, such as lifestyle, environmental concerns, and genetics, which can vary from region to region. Additionally, some of the foods you consume may be silently harming your sperm health. In this video, we will reveal 8 foods that could potentially harm your sperm health, so pay attention. The information you will learn could significantly impact the future generations you are trying to create. So sit back, relax, and let's dive into it. Before we dive into the list, let's discuss why dietary choices matter. They can significantly impact sperm quality, quantity, and health, which in turn can affect fertility and the epigenetics of future offspring. Heard of epigenetics? After conception, the father's nutritional choices can affect the development and growth of the embryo. This can determine which genes are expressed in the baby, a process known as epigenetics. Epigenetics refers to the activation or deactivation of genes, which can have various effects on the baby's health and development. It is believed that if either parent consumes a poor quality diet in the months leading up to conception, the baby may be at a greater risk of developing obesity later in life. This is due to the epigenetic changes that switch on genes, which increase the likelihood of becoming overweight. Other conditions such as type 2 diabetes, metabolic syndrome, insulin resistance, and cancer may also have links to epigenetics. The choices you make today can potentially influence your child throughout their entire lifetime. Therefore, it is worth improving your nutrition while trying to conceive. In this regard, let's discuss some of the foods that men should avoid if they are trying to conceive a healthy baby. At the top of our list is processed meat. Processed meats, such as ham, bacon, and salami, can hurt male fertility when consumed regularly. These meats often contain harmful chemicals like nitrates, which are used to preserve the meat so it stays fresh and edible. However, there is a significant trade-off. While you may enjoy the processed meat for longer, you are compromising your fertility and health. Processed red meats are also high in saturated and trans fats, which are considered bad fats. The trans fats in these meats can impair sperm quality, reducing sperm count and sperm motility as well. One study found that men who consumed the highest quartile of processed meat had 23% fewer healthy, morphologically normal sperm compared to men who ate the least processed meat. The trans and saturated fat content of these foods can further create chronic inflammation in your body, increasing your risk of health conditions such as cardiovascular disease as well as negatively impacting your fertility. The next item on the list is high-mercury fish. Although fish is a great source of omega-3 fatty acids, certain species, like swordfish, tuna, king mackerel, shark, and catfish, with high levels of mercury, can harm sperm production. Mercury is known to hinder the development of sperm cells. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration, FDA, and the Environmental Protection Agency, EPA, advise pregnant women and men who are trying to conceive to choose fish lower in mercury. High mercury levels in the body can impact sperm production and quality. To avoid the risk of mercury-related damage, it is recommended to choose low-mercury options such as salmon, trout, or sardines. These alternatives provide the benefits of omega-3s without the risk of mercury-related damage. Now let's talk about caffeine. While that daily cup of coffee can be a ritual, excessive caffeine intake has been linked to reduced fertility in men. Caffeine can affect sperm motility and morphology. Research published in the journal Fertility and Sterility has suggested that excessive caffeine intake may negatively impact sperm quality. The study found a correlation between high caffeine consumption and decreased sperm concentration. Consider moderating your caffeine consumption and incorporating alternatives like herbal tea or water to stay hydrated without compromising your sperm health. Moving on to soy-based products. While soy can be a great plant-based protein source, it contains compounds called phytoestrogens, which mimic the effects of estrogen. Excessive consumption may lead to increased estrogen levels, potentially affecting sperm quality. While there's limited conclusive evidence, some studies, such as one published in the journal Molecular and Cellular Endocrinology, suggest that high soy consumption may have estrogen-like effects on the body, potentially affecting reproductive hormones. Balance your protein intake by incorporating a variety of sources, such as beans, lentils, and lean meats, into your diet. Next, it's time to address the impact of high sugar and refined carbohydrates on sperm health. Firstly, a high sugar intake increases your blood glucose, blood sugar levels. Chronically high blood sugar levels may result in a drop in testosterone production, increased oxidative stress, and a greater risk of insulin resistance. Each of these factors impacts the health and function of sperm. Sperm normally uses glucose as its foundation, so when insulin resistance develops, sperm is unable to use the glucose it needs as it normally would. At the same time, the decrease in testosterone and increase in oxidative stress negatively impact sperm functionality and motility, meaning the effect of sugary foods on sperm is compounded. High-sugar diets have also been linked to changes in sperm concentration. One study from Boston University found that just one sugary soft drink a day reduced conception rates in females by a quarter and in males by a third. This is because it can interfere with reproductive hormones and damage egg and sperm quality. The more we eat sugar and refined carbohydrates, the more our blood sugar levels increase and the more our body produces insulin, which is intended to move this sugar out of the bloodstream and into the cells for energy production. It's high blood sugar and insulin levels that have the potential to significantly impact our reproductive health. Foods high in refined sugars or simple carbs include chocolate, confectionery, syrups, table sugar, processed and packaged bars and snacks, white bread, pastries, some cereals, and refined grains. Replace refined carbohydrates with whole grain carbohydrates such as oats, which release sugar into the bloodstream slowly, preventing spikes in blood sugar levels. Think of sugary foods like biscuits only as treats, having them a maximum of 2-3 times a week rather than daily. Now let's talk about trans fats. A diet including an excessive intake of trans has been directly linked with reduced fertility in men. These fats are found in high amounts in things like fast food, processed salty or sweetened foods, fried foods, confectionery, and processed red meats, as we've established. These fatty acids create oxidative stress and inflammation in the body, which is the precursor to serious health conditions including obesity, type 2 diabetes, and insulin resistance. Each of these metabolic disorders has been associated with decreases in sperm quality, hormone and immune system dysfunction, and an increased risk of infertility. Trans fats build up in the testes, causing reduced testosterone production and concentration, and impairing the production of sperm. In some cases, these fats can even create pathological changes in the testes, having long-term impacts on your fertility. So it's very evident these fatty acids are not your friend if you're looking to optimize your fertility and your reproductive health. Swap out these unhealthy fats for healthier alternatives like avocados, nuts, and olive oil. These choices not only support your sperm health, but also contribute to overall heart health. Moving down the list, we have foods containing BPA. BPA, or bisphenol A, is an endocrine-disrupting chemical EDC found in plastics and many other products you likely use or consume every day. BPA can negatively interfere with sperm production, with men who have higher levels of BPA in their urine also experiencing lower sperm counts, viability, and motility. It's almost impossible to avoid BPA entirely, and studies have found more than 90% of Western populations have detectable BPA in their urine, with food sources and cosmetic products being the primary sources of exposure. However, if you can lower your exposure to BPA, this will help reduce the impact on male fertility. Given that food is one of the main ways you're exposed to BPA, it's a good route to address if you're looking to optimize your fertility. There are changes you can make. Opt for fresh produce where this is possible to reduce your use of canned, plastic-wrapped, and packaged foods. Tins, cans, and plastic packaging are some of the greatest sources of BPA. Buy food in glass jars instead of cans where you can, then reuse the jars for storage later on. If you can't purchase fresh fruit and vegetables, shop for the frozen varieties. These are just as nutritious as fresh produce and are less likely to contain the same level of BPA as canned vegetables and fruits. Dried beans are also a great substitute for canned. Lastly, and this is not technically a food tip, reduce the use of plastic containers, bottles, and cookware. Even plastics claiming to be BPA-free often contain very similar chemicals in place of BPA. Lastly, let's discuss sodas and energy drinks. Sugary sodas and energy drinks have adverse effects on male fertility, even if you're just having them a few times a week. Sugar-sweetened beverages have been found to lead to lower sperm counts and concentrations in men, with men who added one extra 200 ml serving of soda per day, having a median of 3.4 million sperm/ml less than men who opted for water instead. Similarly, energy drinks have been linked to decreased semen quality, with the impact of these drinks increasing in line with the number of energy drinks men consume. These too can reduce sperm count, making it more difficult for males to conceive. Sugar-sweetened beverage consumption has also been found to increase the risk of developing insulin resistance, with insulin resistance having flow-on effects on fertility. This condition increases oxidative stress in the body, which negatively affects sperm motility and causes inflammation, among other health consequences. So there you have it, dads. 8 foods that could be impacting your sperm health more than you realize. Remember, knowledge is power, and by being mindful of what you eat, you're taking a proactive step toward securing a healthier reproductive future. If you found this information eye-opening, give us a thumbs up, share it with your fellow dads, and don't forget to subscribe for more content that empowers you to lead a healthier, happier life. I'm your licensed pharmacist, signing off from Health Haven Tips. Until next time, take care and make those informed choices.